Hello, everybody, and welcome to another webinar offered through the 28 Days of OLLIE, offered by AEAPD Online. And today's topic is looking at Camtasia and how somebody would be able to use that in their online and blended learning environment, and kind of giving examples too for uses that have been happening as well. We have two guests here today, both from AEAPD Online and both instructional designers. We have Rob Brookhart and Deborah Cleveland here to share with us some tips and tricks when it comes to Camtasia and examples of how they've used it as well. So why don't we just start with you, Deborah, and explain a little bit of what Camtasia is, how does somebody go about getting it, talk about those details to get us started.
Sure. Camtasia is a piece of software that allows you to record video and then edit it on your computer. And what I love about it is how easy it is to use. And as we go through that, I think participants will be able to see that. It's available through the IEC, the AEAs, at a reduced price. So that's another great aspect of it. You can get it for a reduced rate to use. So when you think about flipping or blending your instruction and wanting to put video in, it's a really slick tool for doing that in your instruction in classrooms there. One of the ways that I use it primarily a lot has been to create tutorials on how to do stuff in my online courses. So sometimes I have instructors who want to know how to do something, so I can create a quick video tutorial for them, and also students as far as how do I upload an assignment or create a form, or if they're having some glitches, I can do a really quick turnaround. And when I say quick, some of these I can put together in 5-10 minutes tops. If I want to do something that's maybe more for a larger audience, maybe it takes half an hour, but it's really simple to use. Probably the easiest way to talk about it is to sort of just watch a short video of one that I've created, and then we'll go sort of back map into how did I make that and some of the features of Camtasia. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And play just a minute or so of the video that I've created.
Hyperlinking text to a file or a website. In SoftChalk Editor, highlight the text you wish to hyperlink to. Select the hyperlink, insert modify icon in the toolbar. To insert, a hyperlink pop-up will appear. Click on Select File and locate the file on your computer. Click OK.
Oops. So there you can kind of just see very briefly some examples of things there. And the video is actually a couple minutes long, but I think that gives you an idea of some of the features that you saw. So there's recording, there's audio, there was some music playing in the background, and some annotations that I did there. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about how the process I used to create that. So I'm going to go back and share my screen and pull that up. So this is what Camtasia looks like when you first open it up. And the easy thing is, once you start a project, you can simply hit the red button right here and record. And you have a few choices. So you can choose to do full screen. If you have multiple screens, you can choose which screen you want. You can also choose to have, if you look here, an option to have the camera on so that there's also a image of yourself presenting. I didn't choose to use that option on my video, but you can. And then you can see there's the option to record your audio here, and you can see that the built-in microphone is picking that up. When you're ready, go ahead and hit record, and it will start doing that. It gives you a little warning.
Deborah, I'm having a little trouble seeing your screen.
Yeah, we're just seeing a kind of a white bar and then maybe a little piece of the Camtasia.
Let me try that again. Share screen. Sorry about that. Let's try that. Now can you see the Camtasia screen?
There you go.
Oh, there we go. My apologies. So let me start back just a second so you can see that. There we go. So I was talking just a little bit. Once you open Camtasia, you can simply just click on the record and this pop-up appears and it gives you some options as to whether you would like to record the full screen. If you are working on a dual monitor, it'll give you an option to select which monitor. The second one allows you to choose whether you want to have a camera on you. So sometimes people like to have their picture or image in the corner of the screen and the camera will allow that. And the third option is if you want to have sound recording or not. And you can, again, turn that on or off there. And when you're ready to go, you can just go ahead and select record. It'll give you a nice little warning. And now, right now, we're screen recording what we're seeing here. And you can tell that in the top, there's a little red icon saying that, and it'll give you the option to stop or pause. So when you're ready to stop recording, you can see that what you've done is loaded right into your video viewer here, and it's also down in your timeline there. The one thing that I like to do with my screen recordings is sometimes I like to do the video first and then add the audio afterwards. And that's just a nice way for me to break it up and allows me to keep my audio and video synced together. So that's just something, a trick that I use. And when you do that, once you've got your video loaded, you can turn off the screen and just record your audio. So I watch it on the screen and then talk over it and do my recording that way. And the two will both populate up here. So I'm going to go ahead. Another feature that I love about Camtasia is that you're able to import media. So let's say I have some things that I've recorded earlier. I can go ahead and bring that right in. There's the audio from the recording that I did, the video. And the other thing that you can do is also import images. So if you notice in that video that I had, that I showed a few moments ago, there were some slides at the beginning. So I was able to bring in some JPEGs that I can add to it. And that way I've got some nice opening and closing items as well. When you're ready, you can just drag that down to your timeline. Decide how long you want to, and you can adjust that. Just moving that around. And I can bring my audio in right here. And you can see here there's a timeline here that tells you how long things will be playing. It's very simple to adjust that. Let's say you want this opening slide to be shorter. You can make it shorter and then move everything over. Or let's say you've got some narration that you'd like to add. You can make it longer, and that way it'll play. And by hitting the space bar, you can see that those things will occur. Now, my audio was something that I recorded earlier, and there's some dead noise there that I did. And one of the tricks I use also is whenever I start doing my audio, I tend to leave a dead, some silence in the beginning, so that gives me some room to cut. The other features that I really like is how easy it is to cut things out and then edit or delete. So let's say at 4 seconds, I decide I want to split the playhead or split that music. I can just cut it there. You can see now that my audio is in 2 pieces. I can highlight that, and when I want to get rid of that, I can select delete. And now that audio is no longer there, and I'm able to match it up that way. Another great feature that I like for editing is if there's a mistake or something happens in the video capture and I think, ooh, I want to cut that out, I can split that playhead right here, move to where I want the video to show, split it again, select it, and do what's called a ripple delete. And now you can see right where I deleted, there's sort of this Band-Aid. And as you go through, that chunk that was there will be deleted, and it'll just go into the next picture that was previous to that. So those are just a few of the features that I find really simple, and you can see they're pretty quick to learn, and it's consistent across the way. So I really enjoy using Camtasia for creating video tutorials for my students. So that's kind of, I'm going to stop my share right there.
Thank you, Deborah.
No problem.
Rob, why don't you go ahead and show us an example of what you've done and maybe walk us through some of those other features too, or how you've made your videos.
Thanks. One of the things that I really like about Camtasia is if you've been working with videos for some time, Camtasia reminds me a lot of what iMovie used to be several years ago. It was very straightforward, but it still had lots of different things that could make your video stand out from other videos. And so it's really very simple to use and quick to use. I actually have found it really helpful for teachers who are starting to do some blended learning, creating videos for their students. So they've got a PowerPoint, they want to just do a screen capture of the PowerPoint and talk along with it. And it's a quick way that they can build it, embed it. It's very easy to share out the files. You can download it in several different forms and sizes, and so it's just really easy to use in that regard. So I will start to share my screen here. I actually just started, before we started today, made a quick video. And I'll just play this. So just explain quickly how to do something in Google. You'll notice that I did the screen capture. And what's really nice is it's easy to move things around on the screen. So my screen capture kind of defaults here, but I can just, with a click, move it to where I want to do. It gives you guidelines for lining things up and centering things, which is kind of handy as well. And so it's really easy to click on an object and slide it around. It's really also nice because I can click on the corners and drag and make something bigger. So it's easy to quickly adjust the size of something. Deb had a video, and actually you can see that I have two different things of video going on here. I have the picture of me with my audio, because you can see the audio waves going across the bottom, and then there's just the static, here's what the screen is. One of the nice features is it's really easy to separate the audio and video. So I like to talk while I'm doing something, but then I like to take out my voice and re-record it. So all I have to do is I can go up under Edit, and there is a function called Separate Audio and Video. And I selected my object that I want to separate it. I just click on that, and now I have just the picture and just the audio. So if I don't want to see myself, I can just click on my audio, delete it. I'm sorry, my video, and delete it, but my audio is still there, and it will still play along with the same as it was before. Another really nice feature is there's a number of ways you can annotate. And so they have arrows, boxes. Deb's video that she was showing had kind of a bar across. You can just click and drag it in, type in, and it's easy to embed. I can change how long that is there, and I can basically slide it around on where its placement. Wherever my marker is, that's showing me what's at that point in time on the screen. Another really nice feature is they have a number of transitions that are in place. So I like to use fade in and fade out. It's a quick little thing. You just click on it, click and drag it to whatever you want to fade in and fade out, and automatically it's right there. If I want a longer fade in, I can just click and drag and adjust. Sometimes when I'm working with audio, I want to get really specific starting at the right point, and so it's nice to have that slider at the bottom that I can make time longer or shorter. And it's also handy because I can also see on the audio line where it looks like I started talking, and I can kind of get to the place I want to be quicker. That's kind of some of the main features with it. Also, another thing that's easy to do is sharing your video. So once I have it all finalized, you can actually send it directly to YouTube or your Google Drive. I often just export it as an MP4. And in the advanced export, you can actually even talk about what kind of size it is. If you want to have it be a QuickTime movie, how you want that to export, which is a really nice feature as well just in case you're sometimes having students who are having difficulty with other types of mediums. Like I said, I've used it quite a bit for helping people to kind of capture some of those content delivery pieces that they do with students. It's a quick way to use it in Moodle and embed it into your classes, or embed it into SoftChalk, the software that we talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we just do a final word here as we look at Camtasia and the options that are available. What would you like to leave with the webinar participants as far as the main idea, something for them to remember about Camtasia? Deb, do you want to start first?
Sure. Rob and I both talked about the simplicity of use, and I think that's a big piece of it. But I would also advocate that the fact that you can use still images, video, and also music and everything, and bring those in is a great feature because it adds a lot of dynamics to what you can do and allows a lot more creativity. So I think those features make it exceptionally useful.
Rob, how about you?
Deb mentioned the ease of use, and it really is easy to use. The other thing that I like about it is sometimes you get kind of tired in your courses of read this, do an activity, read this, do an activity. Here's a way that you can kind of mix it up between the different mediums of content delivery. It's fairly quick and straightforward to use. And Deb mentioned doing tutorials for people. A lot of times I can do a quick video and actually show them the answer to the question instead of me trying to type out an email explaining something.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you, Deb and Rob, for sharing with us more about Camtasia.
Josh,
Deb, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that the educator price is $75 and that there's volume pricing through the AEA starting at $50.
Okay, so very affordable for something that looks, gives you the product that you want, and ease of use, like you guys have said, has been very important, and lots of different options to it as well. So thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you everybody for joining us for another webinar from AEA PD Online for the 28 Days of OLLIE.